Electricity powers our homes, schools, businesses, and cities. But how does it get from the power plant to the lights that brighten our rooms? It all begins with a seemingly simple, yet incredibly crucial component, the electric panel. But have you ever wondered how these silent architects of our electrical systems are made? Today, we're going behind the scenes to explore the fascinating process of how electric panels are designed, built, and tested. Cut to factory exterior shots, machines, workers assembling components, close-ups of hands working. In this video, we'll take you through the entire journey of creating an electric panel. From the initial design stage to the moment it's installed in your home, each step is vital to ensuring that electricity flows safely and efficiently. So, let's dive into the world of electric panels. 1. The purpose of an electric panel. Scene transition to a well-lit living room with an electric panel mounted on the wall. Before we get into the how, let's first understand the why. What is an electric panel, and why is it so important? Cut to animated graphics showing a home with various electrical appliances like lights, oven, and TV. Electric panels are the central hub that controls the flow of electricity throughout a home or business. Think of it as the brain of your electrical system. It receives power from the utility company, breaks it down into smaller circuits, and distributes it safely to each appliance and outlet in your home. It also helps protect the system from overload, short circuits, and electrical fires. Cut to footage of workers inside a factory, carefully placing components into an electric panel. Now that we know the importance of an electric panel, let's take a closer look at how it's made. It all starts with raw materials and design. Chapter 2. The design process. Cut to a computer screen showing a CAD design of an electric panel. Designing an electric panel starts with understanding the needs of the user. Engineers and designers use Advanced Computer-Aided Design, CAD, software to create blueprints for each type of panel. Whether it's for a small home or a large industrial building, each panel is carefully tailored to handle the specific electrical load required. Cut to an engineer in the factory. Sketching designs and discussing with the team during the design phase, the team decides on the size of the panel, the number of circuits it will support, and the components that will be used inside. They also factor in safety features, like circuit breakers and grounding systems, to ensure that the panel is not only functional, but also meets all safety regulations. Cut to a computer screen, showing a simulation of electrical load balancing. These designs go through rigorous simulations to ensure that the panel can handle different levels of electrical load without overheating or failing. This is a critical step in ensuring the panel's longevity and safety. Chapter 3. Assembling the electric panel scene transitions to a bustling factory floor. Workers assembling various components into a panel. Once the design is finalized, it's time for production. The factory is where the magic happens, where raw materials are transformed into the finished product. The first step is preparing the metal enclosure. Close-up shots of metal panels being cut, shaped, and welded into boxes. Each electric panel starts with a metal enclosure, typically made from steel or aluminum, that will house all the internal components. This enclosure is cut to precise measurements, bent and welded to create a sturdy frame. Cut to workers placing circuit breakers, wiring, and bus bars inside the enclosure. Inside the panel, we find a network of bus bars, which are the conductive metal strips that distribute electricity to the different circuits. Workers then install the circuit breakers. Each one is designed to protect specific circuits from overload. These breakers trip or disconnect the power if they detect an issue, preventing damage or fire. Cut to a worker using a screwdriver to secure components. Once the breakers are in place, it's time to connect them to the bus bars and wiring. This requires precision, as the connections need to be secure and properly aligned to ensure safe and efficient power flow. Chapter 4. Wiring and final assembly. Cut to shots of workers wiring the panel, attaching labels, and ensuring proper placement. Now it's time for the most critical part, wiring. Electrical wires are routed to each circuit, ensuring that every appliance and outlet in the home can receive the power it needs. The wires are carefully inserted into the breaker, with each one labeled for easy identification. Cut to a worker labeling each breaker and sealing the panel shut. After all the components are in place, the final step is securing the panel's cover, labeling each circuit, and sealing it for protection. Every panel undergoes a thorough inspection to ensure that all the connections are correct and the wiring is properly installed.